in your life as well. What he said in his word is what he declares about you. He's written down in the Bible what he's been declaring from eternity past on your behalf. Now, lest you think that I'm one of these guys that's into the sovereignty of God so much that God will get the plan done no matter what. I just want you to know that you and I always have a choice. You and I always have a choice. And that's why, now listen to this, that's what's so important. That's why this mandate of faith, teach people faith, is so important. It's why we shouldn't give up on it. It's why we shouldn't get tired of it. I know I've taught you faith, but I'm going to teach you faith again. Don't be tired. Don't get tired of teaching people faith. I read something that Oral Roberts said. He said, when you're tired of speaking it, the people are just starting to hear it. And when the people just starting to hear it are tired, no, he said, when the people are tired of hearing it, that means they're just beginning to understand it. That's why you got to keep saying it. That's why Romans 10:17 says faith comes by hearing and come on, help me, and hearing some more. And execute. How many sermons have we preached on alignment? Well, sometimes we do. In some ways we do. We tell people, line up with the Word. And that's alignment. Isn't that right? But we need to understand what's actually happening, and that is that God's already spoken it. God's already declared it. We're not smart enough to come up with this stuff on our own. That's why there's no one like God. He came up with it. So that we can have and the plan that he has for our life. I'm continually amazed at it. How God brought me out of a traditional church where most people leave that traditional church, they go to another traditional church, or they don't go to church at all. But when we left, God, he says here, somebody took Mark out of my Bible. He says here, for surely I say to you, whosoever says to this mountain, be removed, and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things which he says shall come, he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Amazing, isn't it? Critics say it's wishful thinking. One commentary said, this presents a most difficult problem. That's what he said. I laughed, just like Tim's laugh. I just thought that was the funniest thing. Circumstances. I want to read this. I want to read Mark 11:23 and 24 out of the Ben Camel Johnson paraphrase. I would guess most of you don't have that one. I can't hardly find it, but he wrote some interesting things. Now, listen to this. He said, truly anyone who speaks to the mountain yonder, saying, dump yourself in the lake. I know some of us have wanted to tell somebody to go jump in the lake, but he says, tell the mountain to dump in the lake. He said this, and does not become, get this, does not become separated from the statement he makes. You see what I'm saying? That's what he says. How would you get separated from the statement you make? By saying something contradictory. Isn't that right? By doubting what you said be actualized. In other words, something has to happen here, friends. We know, believe in your heart, speak with your mouth. But it has to be a lining up, an agreement with heart and mouth in order for you to be able to step into or experience what God has already declared from the beginning and wrote it down in his Word. or he whispered it to you by the Spirit, a specific thing. Isn't that right? So, he goes on now. He says this in verse 24, because of this principle, when you discover your soul's deepest desires. So we're not talking about something flippant. We're not talking about some flippant name it and claim it, blab it and grab it kind of thing. When you say, are you one of those name it and claim it and blab it and grab it? No, I'm not. But I do believe, let me tell you what I am. I am one who